Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, once again it's time for Canada's favorite nerd. It's the Nonya Nerd Show. And today, it's Nonya's vlog of NAB 2007. With spring in the air, it was time once again for Nonya to take flight to Las Vegas, Nevada to rumble with the latest in media technology and 108,000 other nerds who are just like me. With the Las Vegas Convention Center loaded with the latest media production gadgets, I can hardly wait. So it's lights, camera, and action time. So let's check out what all the fuss was about at NAB 2007. This year, Nonya's trip to NAB started on Sunday at the Venetian Ballroom with a special presentation by Apple. With 3,000 people and a number of luminaries in attendance, Apple unveiled Final Cut Studio 2. The new upgraded editing software included improvements to Final Cut Pro, Motion, Soundtrack Pro, and Compressor. In addition, Apple added Color, a color correction module that allowed for consistent color and the creation of signature looks. The 2-hour presentation highlighted a number of enhancements that have been added to the package, including its interoperability with RED's new digital cinema camera and Sony and Panasonic's cameras by employing Apple's ProRes digital compression format. Final Cut Pro 6 was updated to allow for editing a mixture of various HD and SD signals simply by dragging them to the timeline. Improvements were made to Soundtrack Pro, and the use of 3D was added to the tools available in Final Cut Studio 2. The presentation also unveiled Edge's I/O HD device that provides connectivity for just about every kind of standard and high-definition I/O, and it can be connected to a MacBook Pro. Apple also introduced Final Cut Server, a product that provides media asset management and workflow automation in the Final Cut Pro editing environment. With all of the focus on hardware, servers, and computer software, the event was a great way to kick off NAB, and Nonya was ready to boogie when the floor show opened on Monday morning. Not since NAB 1950, and the announcement of the Vidicon camera tube by RCA has a camera been as anticipated as Red Digital's Red 1 digital camera. Interest was huge in this camera, judging by the lineups to get into Red's booth. In the booth, 3 working Red 1 cameras were on display, capable of generating 4K digital cinema signals. Red also announced that Red Code RAW data generated by the camera can be converted using software called Red City into a range of formats, including DPX. Red Code RAW will also be supported in Final Cut Pro 6. Red also announced that they will be developing a professional pocket cam and their own 4K projector. Another manufacturer on the move at NAB was Sony. With 9 major products and enhancements to their camera and editing lineup, attendees stood up and took notice. Perhaps the most startling announcement was Sony's new XD-Cam EX HD. This new camera employs a solid-state express card, which writes much faster to the media than Panasonic's P2 card. P2 cards use the older PCM CIA form factor. Express cards, which are cheaper than P2 media, are rapidly evolving to consumer media, and the latest Apple MacBooks, Sony Vaio, and Dell laptops support this newer express card technology on their latest computers. The XD-Cam EX-HD camera also features a lens built by Fujinon. It has all of the proper manual features, including an auto servo, proper aperture ring, as well as focus and zoom control markings. In addition, Sony was showing their dual-layer Blu-ray disc that doubles the recording on this medium from 23 to 50 gigabytes. Sony also announced their 50 megabit per second codec, which allows for 100 minutes of HD on a dual-layer disc at quality that surpasses HD-Cam. Panasonic was active at NAB. They announced substantial price drops and increased capacity of 16 and 32 gigabytes for their P2 media. They also announced a 5-year warranty program on their full-size HD cameras, a number of new native 1080i HD cameras, and this cool feature associated with their camera monitors that lets the operator know when the shot is in focus. Codecs were also part of the discussion at the Panasonic booth. On display were a series of videos and images which demonstrated the multi-generation capabilities of DVC Pro 100, AVC Intra, and MPEG compression at various bit rates. In other mainstream camera manufacturers' booths, Hitachi focused on a variety of mounts and devices that allowed for the remote control and movement of its cameras, while JVC focused on a new camera with a built-in microwave transmitter that makes the camera truly portable. There were also a number of specialty cameras at NAB. This year, high-speed cameras that gave very unique shots seemed to be the rage. This small Fastcam MH4 from Photon provides 2,000 frames per second. Neat! And as small as what you need, how about live video from your cell phone? Comet Technologies provides the tools you need that allow reporters to get to air first, directly from their cell phones. Out of sight! There was lots of camera mounting gear at NAB. This Fishbone XT3 for $99 did a lot. And you can add a lot of accessories to make your camera do all sorts of tricks. Another camera that allows for 2K RAW recording is Silicon Imaging's SI 2K digital cinema camera. It was shown on the floor, it's shipping, and it includes an editing workflow solution provided by CityForum. This year, Dulce unveiled a couple of new products. They included the new Dulce Evolution 4K camera in a smaller form factor, and FlashMag, a solid-state solution for recording up to 20 minutes of raw 16-bit uncompressed 4K data or up to 40 minutes of raw mathematically lossless data. NAB provided the opportunity for Nonya to look at the technology that writes the finished digital cinema production onto film. For $500,000, one could purchase this nifty Imager SHR digital film recorder from Imagica to do the job. It writes each frame 3 times per second by individually exposing the RGB components onto the 35mm film. And if you wanted to convert film to video, Wald was showing this modestly priced FilmStar motion picture scanner. It would convert 35mm, 16mm, and even 8mm films to digital intermediate for editing. PixelXs is developing a parallel processing unit for rendering in the video compositing and editing environment. The heart of the system is based on 2 clusters of 8 600 MHz Tiger Shark processors that handle 1 billion operations a second. This combination of technology allows for throughput of up to 8 gigabytes per second. Thanks, comrade! Mercury Computer Systems was demonstrating the power of the Cell processor. It's the same chip that's found inside Sony's PlayStation 3. Using their processing board, they demonstrated the power of the chip by simultaneously encoding 24 full-size standard definition MPEG-4 signals in real time. Awesome! An emerging area at NAB was in the area of content security. Philips was on hand, catching criminals like this with their invisible watermarking technology. It's embedded into the image, so movies recorded with a camcorder or even alternate editing can be sourced as to location. Caught ya, Buster! Motorola's Follow Me TV is one of many security systems being flogged at NAB designed to keep personal digital content recorded inside a home media network inside the home media network. While it was demonstrated working on Motorola's equipment, the ability of it to interoperate with other manufacturers' devices remained in question. Nonya came across lots of software enhancements at NAB. In Apple's booth, the color software was being demonstrated working with a variety of color control surfaces of the type that are commonly employed by colorists. This Eclipse CX by J.L. Cooper is one of a multitude of control surfaces available by a variety of manufacturers. Microsoft invited me to get connected, but kept me chained out of this entrance. Once I managed to find my way into the booth, Microsoft was showing their new Expression Media software, used to create web content for both the desktop and mobile devices. If you've ever done claymation, then you'll appreciate Boyk's iStop Motion. This software stores and overlays the last frame recorded so one can position the next frame with precision. With so much data being produced in media today, storage is always something one needs to keep up on. With lots of companies providing digital intermediate for high-end work, strategy for field recording 25 to 100 megabit media was a big part of what was being displayed. For digital cinema producers, ColorSpace was demonstrating their 444 direct-to-disc recorder. What made this one interesting was that not only could you attach it to your camera, but it's loaded with various forms of I/O. Awesome! And if you can't get enough television, Snapstream's Enterprise TV server is a cool DVR that can simultaneously record up to 10 TV shows and store more than 2,300 hours of recordings. There would always be something on TV if I had this on my network. And CalDigit was really making a splash at NAB in the area of storage. The S2VR series with SATA interfaces offers a more affordable storage solution over those offered by Fibre Channel and SCSI. Their systems can reach speeds of 450 megabits a second, allowing for capture of 10-bit uncompressed HD 1080-60i on SATA drives. Maxell had a hot new storage idea called Stacked Volumetric Optical Discs, or SVOD. Developed in conjunction with Hitachi, SVOD employs these optical discs that are 92 micrometers thick. 100 are stacked in a cartridge, and if 100 cheap dual-layer DVD discs are used, a single cartridge can store a terabyte of data. If Blu-ray media is used, a single SVOD cartridge can store almost 5 terabytes. The world of virtual sets keeps changing. Cinetal was showing their virtual set solution. This year, their system is employing a floor-based grid system. Bitten's Vector 950 pan tilt head that provides a pan tilt data, and Cinetal's solution can even track camera zooms. ORAD was on site, and they were demonstrating their AdVision system that plays virtual advertisements on the playing services of sporting events. They were also showing 3D replay, a system that allows an operator to quickly build a 3D view of a sporting event for on-air analysis. And what's a trip to NAB without discovering items that are new and neat or just plain out of this world? Blackmagic Design's Intensity product was one such item. It can capture higher quality video direct from the image sensor in HDV camcorders by bypassing the HDV compression chip. It does this by tapping into the HDMI out available on many HDV camcorders. And check this out! Plug in 2 Intensity cards to HDV camcorders and add Blackmagic's On-Air 2.0 software on a Windows or Apple MacBook Pro, and you have a complete live television production studio. Awesome! This Lowell digital imaging light was cool. It's simple and effective and is a great way to eliminate shadows in product shots or portraits. SyncView editing collaboration software has advanced. Not only does the latest version provide real-time frame-accurate synchronization of media files across local and wide area networks, but users can now mark up footage while discussing changes from remote locations. And how about this nifty CI-to-I teleprompter for podcasters from Bodilin Technologies? It fits over your MacBook Pro's iSight camera and uses free online teleprompter software available at freeprompter.com. Beauty! How about lights that roll up? These lights from Rololight actually roll up for easy storage and can be ganged together into differing configurations. Electro Voice was celebrating their 80th anniversary. Their booth was adorned with historical images and filled with vintage microphones from just about every era. Nonya didn't know that Google was in the radio business. Since acquiring DMark Radio Automation, Google has moved its AdSense business into the audio market. HDMI Simplified has developed a number of standalone connectors for use in HDMI switching systems. Need an S-Video to go to an HDMI? They've got it! Geffen unveiled their nifty wireless HDMI extender at NAB. And if wireless HDMI was not enough, how about wireless USB? If your UPS isn't up to the job, then how about this Toshiba G8000 series UPS? It's huge, and it'll keep your production safe in case of a power failure. However, if space is a concern, Nonya likes this flywheel. It'll generate power long enough for your technology to go through a quick brownout or shut down safely in case of a power loss. On display at QStream was two world firsts in one box. They were showing the largest multi-rate routing switcher with the world's smallest footprint. Their China 864XR was literally a rack full of I/O. Impressive! Ross Video unveiled a new concept in its next generation of production switchers. Called Vision, these new switchers are being designed where the buttons will change color to indicate different functions and modes of the switcher. Sweet! Is high definition not doing it for you? Once again, NHK was on hand, showing its ultra-high-definition TV. Its 3840 by 2160 high-resolution imagery, coupled with its 22.2 surround sound system, made it a must-stop for most people at NAB. And finally, the Fraunhofer Institute for Integrated Circuits was showing some really neat advanced media applications. This software would stitch together a 3D model from a series of images. Even more amazing, this image detection software could not only detect people's faces, but it could read their movements and indicate what kind of mood they were in. Spooky! Well, that's about all that Nonya can fit into this year's vlog. There were thousands of more things to do and see at NAB, but Nonya just didn't have the time. So until next time, this is Nonya Nerd, Canada's favorite nerd, saying so long, and we'll see you next year at NAB 2008.